So after some extensive testing, I made a tier list for new heroes. And hey guys, it's a GPH Streams here, once again back with another episode of the 7 Nights Idol Adventure. And it seems Arthur at 3 stars is somehow equal to a 7 stars Dokjakim. So these are the details for my Arthur. We have here a 3 stars Arthur at level 50 only. And if you will check here, the accessory, I haven't upgraded this one. And by checking also the attack speed, we have here some decent attack speed, that is 166. And I think this is a far more better than a Dokjakim. We have a decent attack speed here. And if you'll check here the dices, I only got some attack and haven't got any crit damage. In contrast with the Dokjakim, we have here some attack speed that is 136. And there is a 30 attack speed difference between Dokjakim and Arthur. And if you will take a look at this Dokjakim of mine, I have already a 7 stars Dokjakim at a level 70. And of course, we have here some decent accessories already. And if you will check here the dices for this Dokjakim, these are currently the stats. And I have here plus 16% accuracy because I don't have any more resources here. So going back, if you will check here Dokjakim, it has an increase in critical hit rate. That is a 24 or 20%, and a final accuracy that is a 50%. And if by checking here the crit hit attack, we have here an increase in a final attack to all allied heroes. The same with Eileen and also the same with that Arthur. And we have here also White Pure Energy Star, in which it increases attack speed by 20%. So this is a self buff for Dokjakim. Going back to Arthur, on this crit hit attack, we have only the Fierce Spirit. We have here a final damage increased by 50% when attacking bleeding target. So remember that our Shane has bleed. So if we will go back, finding that Shane swimsuit, we have here some bleed. So in addition, inflicts bleed debuff on the hit target for 2 seconds. So this is the reason why this Arthur is very decent to use together with these bleed type heroes, like for example Shane. And Arthur at 3 stars can match with that of Dokjakim. And let's continue here on this active skill. We have here, it grants scales of compensation buff to the caster for 10 seconds. And these scales of compensation actually increases the weakness attack rate and the final weakness attack damage. So this hero is more focused on the weakness attack damage. Because if you will check also the buff of Sun Wukong, since we use Sun Wukong, these scales of compensation buff and this increase in weakness attack rate stacks with the buff of Sun Wukong. And of course, we have your paralysis that is an additional effect on this active skill. So I have here a video comparison between the two, both in regular stage clearing and also on the nightmare stage. These are the tests of both heroes between Arthur on the left while Dokjakim on the right. So as you can see, these are the stats of these heroes. We have here only 83% crit rate for this Arthur, and we have over 100% crit rate on that Dokjakim. And if you will take a look at that crit damage, we have 5,070 for Dokjakim and only 4,767 for Arthur. And by checking also the attack speed, seems like Arthur has higher attack speed over Dokjakim, that is 271, while Dokjakim has only 249. So I would suggest for players who've just played the game maybe around 3 months and below to focus more on Arthur rather than focusing or waiting on Dokjakim. And based on my tests, I think this Arthur at 3 stars can somehow match with a 7 stars Dokjakim. And after this video, we can now proceed to our tier list. So guys, I already updated these tier list, and as you can see, I added here Guild Boss on this PvE tier list, and also I remove here the Elemental heroes because I will do that on a separate video. So first, if you go to this SSS Plus or SS Plus, we have here Arthur, and I think in my own opinion and based on my test, Arthur is better than Dokjakim since we are using here Shane. And these two should be always in a tandem so that this Arthur will remain at this SS Plus spot. Next, we have your Sanraku and Oikatsu on this SS tier. And finally, on this melee type, we have your Miho at this S tier. We have here also a red on Ace, so I moved Ace as a melee type PvE hero on this SS Plus because I've tested Ace. He is already decent and can compete with other heroes here, and this Ace is far more better than these heroes below at this SS tier. Next, by checking here also our Rin, I moved Rin to this SS Plus spot because Rin is already improved. And we have here also some guild boss. We have your Miho, Iris, Mulan, Lenny, and Arthur. And I will add more of these heroes here below. Next on this PvP tier list, I put here Sanraku on this S tier. And we have here Oikatsu at this A tier. And both Miho and Arthur on this B tier. And I will move up Rin from this SS tier. I will move Rin to this SS Plus tier since Rin is already buffed. So now let's proceed to these theoretical dice of legendary heroes. And first we have here Miho. And if we'll take a look at the skills of Miho or the skills description, we have here some deals critical damage equal to 500% of attack to the target. And the best thing about this Miho is this final damage is increased by 200% while attacking the boss in the guild battle. So you can do here some attack or crit damage for Miho. So either of the two. Those potential dices perfectly work with Miho. And I would suggest to do a combination of attack and crit damage. And we have here also some notes in which this hero is best for a guild boss. And the intent is also for guild boss. Next, our next hero, that would be Arthur. So I put here some full crit damage for our Arthur. And I would suggest to do a combination of attack and crit damage. And we have here also some notes. 3 stars Arthur can match with a 7 stars Dokjakim and stage clearing provided there's a swimsuit Shane present because of that bleed effect. So it can replace a Dokjakim and Eileen. Next, we have here Sanraku, and I use here a full attack for Sanraku or a combination of attack and crit damage. That is because if you will check here the skills of Sanraku, we have here at this active skill, the climax boost, increases the crit hit rate by 20%, and also we have here final crit hit damage by 20%. So it would be redundant to put some crit hit damage because crit hit damage is dependent on attack. So I would suggest to put a full attack on your Sanraku rather than putting some crit hit damage because we are talking already here of this final critical hit damage, and this is a self buff for this hero. And this hero is best in tandem with Arthur and Oikatsu, and the intent of this is for PvE. And next, Oikatsu, I put here some 3 times crit damage, and I would suggest to use this 7 stars economy. And this hero is best in tandem with Arthur and Sanraku. So guys, I deleted here the elemental type heroes, and we will do a separate video for that. So anyway, thank you for watching, and see you again on my next videos. Bye-bye!